Greetings, everyone. Lumberg here. Happy Wednesday. Wanted to give you a quick update on uh, the Let's Play series in World 611. We made some further progress. We are now sea level 20, which means we can gather minerals. Part of the reason, there's a lot of events going on. This game is full of events. You just have to pick and choose which ones you want to do and which ones you want to put effort in, and don't feel pressured to do everything. But if you're a free player and you want to get the most out of events and want to maximize without spending, that is what this series is for. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about a couple of these events that are happening. First, let's talk about the Ocean Tyrant that's happening. So you can see here in this Ocean Tyrant, basically, I already bought the advanced reward for 15.99 gold. And that 15.99 gold basically allows you to pick these ones over here. You can get these for free. If you spend the 15.99 gold, then you get these. So you can see I did basically no spending. You can obviously buy these shark meat to feed your shark here, but you can basically get these from the Diligence and Courage quests, and these are pretty good rewards. So here you can see, you have some elite orders, you have some mutant meat and some mutant items, and then again you have these equipment items. As you can see here, we're not going to be able to get this. So let's take a look at how I got these items. So if you look in your Diligence and Courage quest, this is why it's really important to save items, right? So you save fuel, and finally I just hit those 100 zombies. It's a lot of zombies to hit, and I had to use fuel to get there. But remember, some of this was over the zombie hunting strongest commander event, so you were able to double dip some of those rewards. This was the hardest to get, but really not that hard when you're trying to speed things up. And I'll explain why I sped a couple of things and got these last rewards here. Elite orders, that's why it's always important to save those elite orders. Don't just use them. It's tempting to use them when you have the 9 or the 18 or any multiple of 9, but save them. The only one that I wasn't able to do, I was just short on these infected increase of 900. I was able to get 600. Now, I am missing out on these 4 hours of speed, but that's not that big of a deal. Even getting these 10 stakes wouldn't have gotten me to the last tier. So you can miss 1 or 2 of these quests and still, I think it's worth basically getting, you should do the 15.99 gold if you can get to this level 7. If you can get to level 7, it's worth it. But clearly you can see that, if you can get to level 9 without spending. To get to level 10, you do have to spend, because even if I added the 10, I would be at 125 here and not able to get to level 10. So that's something to keep in mind. The maximum you can get to is level 9 without spending, and then you would have to spend to get these further ones. Is it worth spending? Maybe a pack or 2 if you can afford it. These are not bad rewards. Kingsley, if you're using it, is a great hero for non-spenders. For spenders, no, I wouldn't recommend it. But it's personal preference. Okay, so let's talk about Strongest Commander. So Strongest Commander, the first event was, I believe, Gathering. The second event, so it was 1 day of Gathering. The second day was Buildings. And then the third day is Recruiting Troops. The fourth day most likely will be Monster Hunting, and the fifth day will be, this is the first time on this server that there will be Kill Event. So when is Kill Event appearing? If you look, let's go to my alliance. It looks like Kill Event is happening about 45 days after the start of the server. Okay, great. Let's look at a couple of things. I'm going to take a risk on an equipment today. So we're going to walk through equipment. We're going to look at some of ways to get, let me quickly show you this one. So one of the ways, resources really becomes a problem. So we did level it up to 20. Resources becomes a problem. So what I recommend doing and what you can do is basically to scout and find these empty cities and hit these empty cities with no troops. You have to be careful with the Titans, because even if there's 1 troop, the Titans get activated. So make sure you scout. So let's take a look at some of the scouts. So for example, here, there's 1 to 5k units. My Recon Center isn't level 19, so I can't exactly see. So you don't know the strength of, is this 1 troop, 2 troop, or what it is. And Recon Center is not high enough to be able to see if he has Titans. But this is one that I would avoid hitting, because if I hit one of these, then I'll encounter more losses than it's worth. What you can do is build up a farm with some T5s and then, just throw away troops. Use the farm to clear these and then add it to your book list. What's a book list? So once you find those cities, let me give you an example of, so you scout them, you don't hit the ones that have troops. If they have no troops, let me show you one here. like we did a scout report on this. This is a favorite city, right? So you can see only zombies, which are most likely turned to off on defense. And if you attack it, you can get this non-harvested portion. You can see that somebody already cleared up. This is the max that's protected by the depot. This is basically the non-harvested one. It'll accumulate in the fields you can always grab. So I hit this and got this. This is faster than farming and is a great way to get resources. You can, once you find a good city like that at level 16, you can go into your bookmarks, and here you can see that I've bookmarked the ones. That's the one that I bookmarked that I'm going to hit again, right? So hit it once a day and you should be good. So that's a quick tip on how to get free resources by just hitting the dead cities. There's a lot of people that are quitting at this point. Use it to your advantage. We did one more tip that I wanted to show that I showed in my other videos is that, remember, I think after level 18, you can tear down some of these food and oil mills to build a maximum of 6 steel mills. And then at level 20, so I tore down some to build some steel mills, and then I tore down 2 more oil and food fields to build two minerals. So the maximum that you can do is 6. Next, let's take a look at equipment. Since we're level 20, you can now see that you can actually level it up to level 3. The equipment, however, I don't have enough materials to do the radar, and I am going to take a risk. It's probably not advised, but I'm feeling lucky. You guys have been lucky for me in the past. You can see it's a 41 chance of getting purple here. If I use a blue, I don't have a blue console, so purple it is. Let's take a look. Reactor is great because it gives you troop limits. I'm feeling lucky. Let's go ahead and try to develop it and see what we get. Yes, very lucky there. So this doesn't mean that you're getting, most of the time it failed. So I almost feel like I'm giving bad guidance to people. But remember, this is a Let's Play series. I'm more apt to take risks. So take it with a grain of salt. Most of the time you're going to be disappointed. It's going to fail. I was just feeling lucky today. So our equipment is progressing along fine. Because I'm not really spending that much, I'm taking more risks in this account. And so far we've been pretty lucky with both upgrading the radar to level 2 and now the reactor to level 3 and increasing our troop limit by a decent amount. So that's pretty good. These are just placeholders. I'm going to break them down when I can. I still can't beat Classic Tower level 18. So that's going to have to be another day. Actually, now it might be easier now that we've increased our equipment power. Equipment power helps boost your lasers, so that might help. One thing that I forgot to say in Strongest Commander is one thing that is always, it seems to be the case, is that recruit troops phase is always immediately after buildings. So just keep that in mind, that after buildings, recruit troops always happen. So recruit troops can never be the first one. It is always after buildings. So that's just a quick tip that you can see from just observing the randomness of when these events happen. Let's take a quick look at the Duel of Dominance. This is a confusing event, a new event for many people. I have some introductory videos on Duel of Dominance. I recommend that you take a look at that. That will be more detailed. The only thing that I'm going to share here is that if you haven't done this, really go into Tifa's donation center and get these free items. If you're going to be a free player, these are some great free items. Not just the items for the duel, but you can see here that you're getting leader badges that helps you increase your rally size. You're getting some fleet expansion. You're getting this VIP points, and that's really important because with that VIP point, I was actually able to go from level 5 to level 6, and then I'll get to the coveted level 7. The key thing about the coveted level 7 is that you get this extra fleet, right? So that's why I'm saving the VIP cards. That's where you get that extra VIP, extra fleet. And not only that, at VIP level 8, as you keep playing, you get an attack boost as well. So very, very important. The extra fleet, as well as all these other, recover mobility, resource output, all of these are really, really wounded capacity. These are all great things. So VIP is your friend. keep getting, doing the things that give you free VIP points. You get most of it by being active, logging on daily, but it can't hurt. Let's go back to Duel of Dominance. So part of the reason why I sped up to level 20 was the minerals that I needed to do to get these items was I couldn't do it obviously at a level 19 because minerals don't exist. But one thing I will warn you that I elected to get these items over kind of city development. When you're in mid game or late game, these donations didn't feel too high. But when you're starting off early, I think it was 500,000 per food and oils. That's 5 million food, 5 million oil, I think 1 million steel, 500,000 minerals. Like that is almost a city level, city main hall upgrade. So it was insanely high. The Z coins wasn't so bad. The power ore wasn't so bad. But these resources really, really hurt. So keep that in mind that as this event is announced, save up and stock up on those resources to get these free items. On the Duel of Dominance, the main thing is to actually participate. You can set your defense daily, but one thing to keep in mind, I'm going to give you just some general tips. Let's go back to the item. The general tips is some of these free items don't use feint attack. Feint attack is really just more of a reconnaissance tool. It splits your army into two. It can only be used when you are when your army is full, and so it's really it splits your army, so you're not going to be at full power. I don't recommend using that unless your job is to take away the landmine. So you might strategically place these in a way that, so especially if you're a weaker player, you use feint to disarm a landmine based on what your commander tells you. So that's the key thing. If there's a strong person with a landmine or a blue item, you use a feint to be able to split your army and use it that way. Wait for another strong enemy with landmine and disarm it that way. Some other things is, another tip is that when you set your defense troops, they actually last through the entire event of preliminaries. So, you can use some boosts and attack boosts. Those last throughout the entire preliminaries. And then if you go into the knockout rounds, you have to reset your fleet. You can see here we're doing pretty good. We got maximum points versus both of our enemies. You can also see that, you can see the battle record of who fought who. You can actually see the replays here, pretty neat. You can see I did pretty poorly. It's just a weak account. You can see the kill rankings for your alliance and who killed what. This is also a way that you can see who didn't enter the battle yet. It's over now, so I guess it really doesn't matter. There's no way they can enter it. But, participation is the key. The last thing I'm going to say is that it's kind of confusing, but, make sure you look at this tab to switch between. There's 2 enemies every day. It's random. When you set your defensive items and set your defensive troops, you almost do it blindly without knowing who your opponent is. So you set that defense for the next day. You have until reset to change those. Remember, the positions of how you set your defense can only be done by your alliance leaders, so R4 and R5. However, you can go in and equip items for yourself, any of these items that you want. I'm saving the items because I don't have that many. I'm going to save it for the knockout rounds. However, if you can always go back, and let's say you didn't use boost, you can always go back at any time and adjust your fleet. One thing to keep in mind is if you used any boosts like attack boosts, those remain active throughout the defense or the attacking event as long as you had them when you deploy the troops. So it's not like, hey, if you run out of boosts, you can deploy troops, and the moment you deploy troops, they stay active until you redeploy them. So, and here you can see in defense record who's using what. Sometimes people are generous and use, additional items and give other people items. So that's something to keep in mind, that you can give other people items. And with that, I think that's all I have as a quick update. The thing that I'll say here is that, the game kind of slows down. It really becomes a quick drag of getting the resources to be able to upgrade. but you really want to focus on those key things. Focus on your officers, focus on your equipment, and keep grinding that XP. Keep grinding that XP. You can see here that we're doing pretty good in hunting zombies. We are now at level 27, and that level 27 is going to allow you to do more research here in Commander. And if you look at your Commander skills, right? So every level now for the next couple of levels, look, I'm going to be able to increase long range attack and then also get the fast expansion skill. So keep on hunting zombies, keep on grinding, work those farms. If you don't have farms, build some farms. They need some investment early on, but they really speed up quickly. Don't forget to do, so at the end of the day, I think today will be Tower Day, or is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Don't forget to do Tower and keep building equipment officers, and then your Titans. My Titans are looking really, really bad, but that's just because they're so expensive and you have to spend. Again, save items. You can see here I can evolve it almost 2 times if I have the DNA. I am not going to do that because I'm waiting for an event. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off. If you have any questions or want any more information, do let me know. Duel is going to be fun. We're going to do some more recording of how we do in Duel and the kill event. Take care. Have a wonderful week.